Hi guys, welcome to my channel Autumn in Bloom. My name is Autumn and this is where I will be sharing my newfound passion for plants with you. I'll be sharing helpful tips and simple tricks that I am learning along the way. You'll get to grow with me as I learn, experiment, and turn my space into a cozy green haven, one plant at a time. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Autumn. Today we're going to be doing basically a try to save plant video. We're going to try to rescue this pink princess philodendron right here. As you can see, she is not looking good. She is wilty, some of her leaves are yellow and browning, and overall, sorry for the intrusion on Franklin's part. He wants to see what's going on today. But anyway, we're going to try to see what we can do with this plant to try to save her. As you can see, she is still pushing out new growth, but she is just overall not looking good. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to chop and propagate her in water, and then we will see how she looks in a couple of weeks. I do have two of these plants. So one is the other mother plant that is in my bathroom currently. She's still looking good, but she is kind of leggy, so I'm also going to be chopping her back, but that's more so to chop back and then put a moss pole in so that she can hopefully start growing a little bit fuller for me. But yeah, so these were together in the same pot, or this one and the mother plant were together in the same pot. This one started getting a little big, so I thought she wanted her own space, and clearly I was incorrect about that. So yeah, so we're going to do that today, and then we will see how it goes. Okay, so first off, we're just going to start with supplies. So obviously we already have her here. The next thing I'm going to be using is actually just an old candle, vase thing. As you can see, it still has the sticker on the bottom. I can't be bothered to get it off. Clearly I tried and then I gave up. But yeah, I'm just going to be using this as kind of the small water propagation vase that I'm going to be putting her in. And then the other thing that we are going to be using today is just some clippers. Don't worry, they've already been cleaned and sanitized, but just to kind of chop her up. Now, I have heard that pink princess philodendron do tend to be a little bit on the messy side when you chop and prop due to their pink kind of, I guess you would call it sap when you cut their branches or their stem. So I also have some paper towels here just in case it gets a little messy. But other than that, we can go ahead and just get started. So I'm going to start first by just taking her out of her container, seeing what those roots look like. I won't be shocked if they don't look good because, like I said, she is clearly not having a good time in here. I am a little bit shocked she didn't kind of, get used to this pot that she's in, simply because this is the exact same soil mixture I've had her in since she, was a tiny little plant. So it's not like I changed up the soil or anything. I did just water her, I'd say maybe yesterday or a day and a half ago, to try to see if maybe she was being underwatered because the soil was a little bit on the drier side. But now as I'm touching this right now, the soil is pretty wet still for it being, watered that many days ago. So I don't know, maybe if the soil mixture just wasn't right this time. But yeah, some of her roots are a little bit sticky and not the strongest. So I'm just going to kind of run my hand over them, see if there's any that I need to just kind of cut off or any that just kind of fall off into my hand. And as long as there's none that do that, which I don't think there are, maybe a little bit right there, but I'll go ahead and show you the roots. As you can see, they don't look horrible, and if I kind of tug on them, most of them are pretty strong still, so I'm not too concerned. I really don't know what's going on with her. I don't see any like pests or anything on the leaves. I mean, her leaves look fairly good for the most part. They just are so wilty. So yeah, anyway, so that's the smaller part of the plant. That one I probably won't cut just because there's really not that many nodes. I think there's like one node here. Let's see. I think there's like one node on here that could possibly, right here, if you can see it, sprout from. So I think I might just dunk this whole thing in the water and just kind of hope for the best. This one though, obviously has quite a couple. Again, these roots are a little bit more tattered and frazzled. I'm sure, as you can see as I'm running my hand, I just ripped off like two of them very, very easily, which is never a good sign. But yeah, so as you can see, these roots also don't look horrible, but again, don't look the happiest. But yeah, so this one, because it has so many nodes, I am going to chop. And when people are talking about nodes, they're talking about, I'm trying to get it to focus to the best of my ability, these little raised bumps here. So you'll see they're kind of in between each of the branching off points, and they kind of go all the way up the plant. So as long as you have those in water, you're good. I have heard that it kind of works better if you cut about 2 to 3 leaf sections. So honestly, I'll probably cut right under this one right here to give me 4 leaves on this one. And then I'll probably cut somewhere further up here again to give me like 3 leaves on that one. And then this top one will just be its own little plant. So yeah, so I'm just going to start off by rinsing off these roots. I will come back and show them to you in just a minute. Okay, so I've now rinsed off all of the roots. As you can see, they look a little bit better now, not as sad. But yeah, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually chop her up. So like I said, for this one, I am just going to kind of, I think, keep this whole little section to kind of just put in the water, because I do think that there's not too many nodes. I mean, there are nodes on here, but they're all so low down that it doesn't really make sense for me to cut any further up. What I am going to do though is I'm going to give these roots a little bit of a trim, because I don't know, they don't look super great, so I don't really think the plant's going to miss them. And if anything, they're going to grow new water roots from the little points of little grow points here anyway. So yeah, so just gave her a little trim, so she will go straight into the bucket. And why don't actually I'm gonna go ahead and drop some water in here. So I'm gonna have some water, and I'm just gonna go ahead and set her in here. I will add some root drops to this water probably, just to try to get her going a little bit better. She saw some dirt on her, but that's okay. I'll be changing out the water in a couple days anyway. Okay, so now for this one, we're gonna get chopping. So I'm gonna go ahead and move the camera so that you have a little bit more of a close-up of what I'm doing. So give me just a second. Okay, now that we have the better angle for you guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start chopping her up. So I'm actually gonna start from the bottom here, and like I said, I'm looking for these nodes that I kind of showed you earlier. You can kind of see them really good right there, actually. This one, there's another one up here. So again, I just want to cut for this next part below the node so that I have a node to stick in the water. But yeah, so I'm going to try to do this here. I am first going to chop off these leaves that are just not doing anything anymore for the plant. So like this one that's clearly dead. And then this other one down here, which again, clearly dead. And the reason I'm doing this is because if they're already wilted like this and I put them in the water, all they're going to do is rot and just cause more issue for the plants. So now you can see this one has really good nodes right here, really good nodes right here, and really good nodes down here. So like I said, they recommend taking 2 to 3 leaf cuttings of this. So I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3. And then I'm probably going to chop right here, honestly. And then this node can belong to the next one. So I'm just going to chop. Oh yeah, and you can kind of see the pink. Not really though. She must be doing really bad if she has like no no pink sap in her. That can't be a good sign, right? Let me know down below if that's probably a bad sign, because it probably is. But yeah, okay, so now we have a node for this one down here for roots to grow. So I'm gonna go up 1, 2. If anything, I might take again this leaf off because it just looks really sick, which again, this is a rescue mission, right? So odds of her bouncing back, probably not super high, but I'm willing to try. So we're just gonna kind of go with it and see if I can get her to not die on me. So I'm gonna chop her here. Probably could have chopped her a little further down, honestly. But yeah, so this one has 2 leaves. As you can see, we have some nodes down here at the bottom. So again, really good to just kind of plop in that water back there. I know you can't see the water necessarily, but back there. And then again, this big 3-leaf cutting, we're just gonna stick down here. So I know you're supposed to let it like sit out and callus, or at least some people let it sit out and callus to avoid root rot. Obviously, because she's not even like leaking at all, I think she is pretty you know, I don't know. I just don't think that's going to make a huge difference for her. If she's going to die, she's going to die. So I'm just going to set her in there. And like I said, I'm just going to kind of put her under a grow light. She looks so sad right now. It's not even funny. She looks so sad. But I am going to add some root drops to this water to hopefully try to get her rooting quickly. I will probably give an update in a couple days. I'm probably gonna have to chop back some of those other roots or take them off because, you know, obviously they're not water roots, so they might end up rotting, especially since they're already a little bit on the iffy side. But yeah, I will keep you updated. I'm gonna come back in just a second and add some root drops to this water. Okay, so these are the root drops that I use. I kind of ordered them off of Amazon. I saw a couple of other YouTubers recommending them, and I've actually used them to root plants before. I have rooted a Hoya with these, as well as spider plants from, obviously, I don't know if you can see, but I have a giant spider plant back here in the background. I'll give you a close-up in a second, or I'll input a photo. But yeah, so I've actually used these to propagate spider plants and Hoyas. Both of them propped really well, and I think they actually propped pretty quickly because on some of the spider plants I used this and on other ones I didn't. And the ones that I did use this did prop quicker for me, so I do say it works. But anyway, on the back here it tells you exactly how many to put for, you know, how much water. I'm going to be honest, normally when I do the water props I just kind of put like 4 drops in there and just kind of hope for the best. But yeah, so this is what I use, and now that she's all in here in her little water environment, I don't know if you can see all of the nodes. There's at least 1 node in each that's covered with the water. I probably could add a little bit more water to this, but I know it's kind of hard to see on camera, but every branch has multiple nodes underwater, so I'm not concerned that there's not spots for it to root. But I am a little just concerned because she's just so sad looking. So hopefully, fingers crossed. You know, this leaf's kind of yellow. Do I take it? Do I let her have it? I don't know. Let me know down below if there's any leaves on this that you think should be also ripped off or chopped off, because they're just going to be more of a pain than anything. Ugh. But yeah, so this is this plant. I am going to come bring the other mother plants over here so that I can chop her as well and pop those propagations in here. And then we will go from there. Okay, so here is the mother plant. As you can see, she's much bigger than the other 2. But you can see what I'm saying, how she's a little bit leggy. You will see she's missing a leaf here. That was an all pink leaf. She was so pretty. I know it's not good when they push out all pink leaves because then they can't photosynthesize, but they're just so pretty to look at. So I did leave her there until she kind of fell off not that long ago. But yeah, so as you can see, this one's a little leggy, and the leaves are very small, which is why I was saying I do kind of want to chop her. Probably, I don't know, maybe like, this is kind of the last biggish leaf. So maybe I'll chop and prop her right above that, and then I'll go ahead and put the moss pole in and hope that the new growth that she pushes out will be on that moss pole. As you can see, I do have a kind of contraption here already to hold her up because she is so leggy and she just kind of flops around everywhere. So that's been helpful, but I do think a moss pole will be better for her in the future. So I'm just going to take this off really quick, take off her little seat belt so she can be free. And then I do have my clippers again. Don't worry, I did wash these. I do know that it is super important to, you know, sanitize, especially because I'm not really sure what was going on with the other plant. Like I said, I didn't see any pests or any fungal issues, but you never know. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be really brave here, and I'm just going to chop her. I'm just kind of debating. I mean, this is the last big leaf, right? So do we think I should chop right above that one, or do we think, I mean, I feel like that's probably the best course, right? That one I can chop. This one down here looks kind of sad, so I think I'm just going to chop her off in general. Oh, there she goes. She's gone. Can't go back now. And then I think the rest of these look pretty good. So I think I am going to chop just right above this one, since that's the next, or the last biggest leaf that I have. And then it gives something for the moss pole to grab onto. So I'm just gonna, there we go. And this one, let's see if this one has any. Oh yeah, that one, see? This one, I don't know if you can see on my finger, it's kind of hard to pick up on the camera. There is a pink hue to this one, so this one isn't as bad. but even this one doesn't have a whole lot, and from like videos I've seen online, it like sprays out and it's like super pink and super beautiful. So I do think there's something wrong because mine does not look like that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like if all the other plants that look super healthy on the internet have that pink fluid that comes out when they cut them and it's like super pink and super beautiful, and mine doesn't, that's probably not ideal. Last thing I will mention, because I was talking about, obviously reverting and things like that. Obviously, like I've said before, I'm fairly new to this, so I'm not 100% sure, but some people have said that if you look at this pink stripe right here, oh God, what was it? I think if you prop below that again, so like if I was to cut here, I think, or I guess you could technically see the pink stripe here, and there's a little bit more pink on the one I cut. But if you cut below that, because the further you go up the stem, there's not this like baby pink stripe anymore. But if you cut below that, it'll kind of kickstart it to start pushing out more variegated leaves. I don't know if that's true. Let me know down below. Like I said, this is the first time I'm chopping and propping this plant, so I'm a little unsure how this is gonna go. But yeah, if for some reason I need to cut further down, like down here, to increase my chances of more variegation in the leaves, please let me know, because I will definitely, that's a cut I will 100% make. So yeah, anyway, so this is the mother plant now. Like I said, I'm gonna get a moss pole, but that'll be in a separate video because I have a couple of plants I want to put on moss pole, so she's just gonna kind of hang out for now. But I will show you the final product that we have here of all of our labor. It looks like a very, very sad water bowl full of dying leaves, except for this one. This one's good, but that was from the last plant that I just did. So this one's still healthy. This one's doing great. There is a little leaf here, so we'll see if that one continues to push off or if I have killed it. But yeah, so this is what we are working with. She is going to go under a grow light. I will go ahead and put a photo in after I'm done with this video of kind of her place she's going to be staying for the next couple of days or weeks or months. I guess we will see if she likes it. And yeah, I'll be giving you guys updates along the way. So I hope you had fun today. And like I said, if you have any comments on what I should be doing further with this plant, or if I should be, chopping it another way or putting it in a different medium to regrow, I'm new, so definitely, like I said, let me know. Any input is always appreciated. Alright, well that's the end of today's chop and prop video. If you enjoyed hanging out with me, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stick around because there's plenty of more planty content on the way. I'll keep you updated on how these cuttings are doing, so keep your fingers crossed for lots of healthy new growth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!